welcome back to my channel.
If it's your first time.
If it's your first time, hit the number, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Today my mom wants to talk to you guys.
Hi guys. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Canaan's backstory of things that you may or may not already know about Canaan. Okay. When Canaan was born, everything seemed good, other than Canaan having colic and some typical babies have, and he was just really agitated at times. Growing up in his first year, he was always sick with colds and pneumonia and whatnot, and we always had him at the hospital because he was having issues breathing or going blue, and they would do the same routine every single time with putting him on oxygen and giving him meds and whatnot. And we were usually at the hospital for anywhere from 4 out of the 7 days of the week. And then at 8 months old, he was admitted into McMaster Hospital in Hamilton because he ended up having severe double lung pneumonia, which caused him to be put on IVs and oxygen. And after that, he was good for a little bit. And pretty much after being in and out of the hospital for the first year of his life, he was finally diagnosed with asthma. And once we got... Sorry, I have everything written down here. Once he was diagnosed with asthma, things started to get a lot better with his breathing and whatnot. And at the age of 18 months old, which is a very curious age of a child, they get into everything. He ingested Tide Pods. And I guess, as my older daughter says, he started the Tide Pod challenge. But it wasn't a good scenario in his case. Like I said, he was 18 months old, and he ingested the Tide Pods, and when he vomited, he burnt everything from his stomach up. In return, caused his throat to swell shut. And when he went to the hospital, they ended up putting him on a breathing tube and airlifting him to the Toronto Sick Kids, where he was on a breathing machine for 4 days and then downgraded from the critical care unit into a regular room where he just needed oxygen off and on. Once he was released from the hospital, everything seemed fine. He was a typical toddler. I ended up putting him into daycare to just get him interacting with kids his age. And when he was in daycare, they noticed that he was behind in some of his milestones. So they referred us to early resources, in which we had an RT, which means resource teacher, come into our home and try to teach Kanan some of the skills he was lacking, which in some aspects helped and some he didn't really improve. And I guess at that point, that's when our battle started with Kanan. For Kanan. When meds stopped working, the pediatrician referred Kanan to a specialist in special needs cases. And this specialist went more in depth in testings and whatnot, and finally we kind of came to a diagnosis, a mile-long diagnosis, but it tells us how we can deal with him and help the school help him and whatnot, and what we need to do at home. He now is diagnosed. He doesn't like hearing it, so I'm sorry. He is now diagnosed with a mild intellectual disability, ADHD, ODD, autism, a mental delayment, which pretty much means like physically he's 9, but mentally he's about 5 years old. He has a speech impairment and a sensory disorder. That being said, he now is 9 years old and he is doing amazing. Now that we got everything set up in place at home and in school and have his meds figured out, he is one amazing little boy and has come a long way. He now can read and add things together. And he gets along better with his friends. And he's slowly improving mentally. He's still delayed, but he's somewhat starting to catch up to where 9-year-olds should be, but he's not quite there still. So yeah, that's it for my chat. Then now we're going to be going into asking Kanan. I'll be asking Kanan some questions that some people have asked him. But because he can't read too well, I have wrote them down, and now I'm going to read them to him, and he's going to answer a few. Thanks, guys. Okay, Kanan, here are your questions. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Okay. Who is your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man!
Obvious. What are you most scared of?
Clowns.
You don't like clowns?
No, I hate them.
Okay. What makes you laugh? What makes you laugh?
Sissy tickling me.
You like when your sister tickles you?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you're older?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh boy.
Okay,
here's a hard one.
Okay.
If you could choose anything, if you could choose one thing to eat all day, what would it be?
Broccoli.
You like broccoli? If you could do one thing all day, what would it be?
Get bit by a radioactive spider.
You want to get bit by a radioactive spider?
Yeah.
You're silly. Okay, we got a couple more.
Yay.
If you could if you were stuck on an island, who would you want to be stuck with?
Spider-Man.
And why?
Because,
Do you think he would keep you safe
yeah, but from Venom.
from Venom?
And Green Goblin.
Okay. If you were a superhero, what would your powers be?
Shooting spider-webs and climbing on walls.
Okay. What is your favorite holiday?
Halloween!
Why?
Because you can get candy.
You get candy
Yeah, and can dress up in your costume.
and dress up.
Yeah,
What is your favorite movie? What's your favorite movie?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay, who is your favorite teacher at school?
Mrs. Hale.
Mrs. Hare? Is that your only one?
And Miss McLean.
If you could be, this is your last question, okay? Oh, Enzo's coming to say hi. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
It's cute though.
A
No
cheetah?
kissing.
Well, that's it for now, guys. Ready? Thanks for watching. See you next time.